distinguished guests, Governor-elect, future First Lady, and anyone else I didn't name, please forgive me. This is single-handedly the hardest thing I've ever done. But I will do it. I will get through this because Flores would have done it for me or any one of us in this room. I'm Officer Hamilton, badge 3424, North Central Precinct Day Watch. Just over a year ago, I stood on stage much like this one, and I spoke on behalf of Edgar Flores. As class leader at our graduation from DeKalb County Police Academy, and today I speak on behalf of him at his funeral. I'll never forget where I was or what I was doing when I heard the news of Officer Flores. Let me take a minute and introduce the people on stage. On stage is the entirety of Class 110. This is what remains. There was 4 of us, 1 was taken, there's 3 of us, and we have our lead instructor. I just gotten off shift. I'd walked in my front door. I picked up my 2 sons, as I always do every day, and we started giggling. My wife told me my phone was ringing, and it was Ramsey. It wasn't completely odd because we worked at the same precinct, and she may have wanted to ask about a call I went on earlier. So I answered the phone. I said something silly, as always. And I heard a crack in her voice, and she said, "Hamilton, it's an emergency." And I said, "Which one?" Because I knew that either Ashogban or Flores had been hurt, and it had been bad. And she said Flores had been shot in the head. Now, as a first responder who responds to scenes where people are shot in the head, hearing that, you want to have hope, but you know. But I kept hope. Ramsey was on the way to Officer Flores as she hung up. I would receive a phone call about 20 minutes later from Instructor Williams notifying me that Officer Flores was deceased. Now, we've all shed a lot of tears over the past few days, and we've talked about Flores, but I want to tell some funny stories about Flores. I want to tell some Academy stories about Flores because we deserve to smile about his name because that's the type of person he is. We all first really met Officer Flores in the morning of May 8, 2017 at 4 a.m. on the PT field of DeKalb County Police Academy. When Officer Flores walked up to me, I couldn't believe what I'd seen because I was looking at the skinniest pair of skinny jeans I'd ever seen in my entire life. I swear they must have been a pair of his fiancée Liz's pants because these are too small to be men's jeans. So I didn't take long for the instructors to catch wind of his fashion statement, and we got to do some extra PT because of those pants. Due to there only being 4 of us in the academy, we all grew extremely close. We learned a lot about each other's families, each other's goals, what we wanted out of life, what we wanted before we ended up getting accepted to the police academy. And Flores always talked about his family. That was his hobby, that was his thing, family. Flores would always talk about his little brother, Alexis. He was so proud. You could hear it in his voice. It was almost like you were his son. If you stood around him for more than 5 seconds, you knew how much he loved his fiancée, Liz. He was going to marry her. They were going to have children. All this was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. We were just waiting. Flores loved his family. He was a family man. I think every weekend we would all leave the police academy on Friday and say, "Okay, guys, we're going to eat good this weekend. We're going to run. We're going to come back Monday in good shape." That didn't happen with Flores. Every Monday, Flores would come in and say, "We celebrated. We had tacos." I said, "Flores, you have tacos and celebrations every weekend, man." He said, "I'm Hispanic, bro." Throughout the academy, Flores and I were paired up quite a bit due to we were equal in size. So any of the SSGT, any of the fighting or type of stuff like that, him and I were paired up. When it was time for fight day, it was the same. And a lot of recruits have issues with fight day because if you have a friend or a buddy, you gotta end up punching them in the face. and sometimes you might not want to. Well, when it came to Flores, I didn't really feel like punching Flores in the face. Flores is just too nice of a guy. You just don't do that. Well, Instructor Rucker caught wind of this, and he was like, well, if you can't fight Flores, you can fight me. And I said, I'll punch Flores. That'll be fine. Flores was a natural. Some people end up policing and thrive in it. Flores didn't just wind up policing. It is what he was born to do. He was an expert marksman the first time he picked up a handgun. I think he got 100 on every academic test in the academy. He was just born to do this job. We got sent to different precincts after graduation. The last time I saw Flores was about a month ago. We went to qualify at the range. We knew we were going on the same day, but we didn't know we were actually meeting there at the same time. I was walking to hang up my targets, and I heard an excited yell, Hamilton. I turned around, and it was Flores pulling up in his brand new Z71 pickup truck. With a huge smile on his face. You know Flores, you know that smile. He smiles with all his teeth and more. Just everything. And I was so excited to see him because I knew I'd get to shoot beside him one more time. I didn't know it would be the last. So, Flores and I, we qualified, and I tried to beat him, but like always, he beat me. And then we said goodbye. And I told you I'll see you later, and we gave each other a hug. And if I'd known that was going to be the last time I'd seen you, I would have hugged you just a little bit harder. Although this is a devastating loss to our community and this department, this burden will remain emotional. It will not become operational. He would have wanted us to show up to roll call 12 hours after he got gunned down. He would want us to keep fighting the good fight because he knows how important each officer on each watch is and that we can't afford to lose one. Our hearts were broken, but that's what we did. We showed up the next day, we clocked in, and we didn't skip a beat. I did one traffic stop that day, just for you. I did it because I didn't want to do one. You were with me from start to finish, and I know that's where you will continue to be throughout my career. You will watch over all of us. So, Officer Flores, well done. We got it from here. I'll see you at the final formation.